By popular demand, we are back with the tier list. I didn't plan on making a video like this for 2024, but since no one watched the Brick Awards video, here we are again. I'll see what I'll call this video, given that it's very much not 2024 anymore, but before we start, these are all my opinions, remember that. Also, if I forget anyone, forgive me. There's about 1 million LEGO creators nowadays, and if someone isn't here, it's either because they haven't posted in a while, or a lot, they don't primarily do LEGO, or because I simply forgot them / I didn't know about them in the first place. And as a last addendum, if I'm talking about a creator, I'm going to take all of their channels into consideration, not just their name. Brad's Brick Pros is the first creator we'll look at today. He's good at what he's doing. He's not the best in his niche of LEGO YouTube, but that doesn't mean he's bad by any means. His content is mainly aimed at children, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, even though I gotta say, placing a War Thunder ad in a video about the life story of LEGO Spider-Man is quite bold. Now, because of everything I've just mentioned, he's going in B tier. Up next, we've got Tiago Catarino. His videos aren't that fast paced and just a little more chill overall, maybe a little too chill at times. In terms of camera work, I think he's absolutely great, but when it comes to editing, I feel as though there are a handful of things that could be improved, especially in the audio category. First up, I think background music, especially for the slower type of content, is always a great idea. That's a very individual preference, but it's the reason my videos all have background music too. Secondly, the audio quality is a little inconsistent from video to video. I know how difficult working with audio can be, but some videos are way louder than others. Here's an example of 2 videos played on the same volume.
In this video, I'll be covering the new LEGO Harry Potter Hogwarts Castle sets kindly sent to me by LEGO for this review. Thank you LEGO for sending these sets for review. The LEGO poinsettia is the only poinsettia you'll get to keep red the entire year.
So yeah, B tier for me as well. The B3 is our next creator. Again, the content isn't for me, but I can see how well it is done. The editing is really good, and you can tell a lot of time goes into these videos. Now, I've got a little nitpick, which goes for a lot of the faster, more retention-focused creators, and is probably also just completely subjective, but do more color correcting. Your videos will look much better, and just be bolder with it. The B3 gets an A tier this year from me, and next up we've got Sacred. He really didn't post that much this year, and in my opinion, the quality also just wasn't on the same level as previously, but like, it's still not bad. He's going into B this year. Our next creator is Zach the Maniac. He's mainly doing shorts and yeah, they're good. It's an art in and of itself definitely and requires a bit of a different skill set to normal videos in my opinion. I'm not a shorts person, I like long videos, but I recognize the quality, so it'll be another B tier from me. Then we've got SHYTIMEismyTIME. I love this dude. His videos are chill but never not entertaining, and I think the editing complements the general style very much. Also, big fan of sitting on a stoop, even if it only releases every so often, but most definitely a worthy successor to the Kelly Brick League. A tier once again. Sans is our next guy. I think his videos are great. While his thumbnails might make you think his content is somewhat similar to TommyCBricks or FireBird Bricks, it's quite different. I think the mix of editing and humor really lets his videos shine, and together they kind of remind me of Ren Weichman or Michael Reeves. Which is funny because just like the last one, he also only uploads once every blue moon. If I could implore you to just watch one of his videos, I'd say check out his Battle Droid video from September of last year. It's great. S tier for me. Up next is MiniSuperHeroesToday. I truly think that his content would be much better suited to shorts. I don't think his videos are that well made, and especially when it comes to audio, I think there's a lot of room for improvement. This isn't a personal attack, I don't know anything about the guy, but for 2024, he goes into D tier. Sevel is our next creator, and I don't want to pit these two against each other, but I feel like he does a lot of the same things as MiniSuperHeroes, but better. He's got this unbashful excitement and energy that is really nice and not over the top, and the editing being quite good is of course another plus. For me, it's B tier this year. Now, I've had my issues with Emmasaurus in the past. I made a video partially about him this year, even though that was definitely the weakest part of that vid, but he was really good in 2024. His main channel popped off, his second channel stayed consistent, and the vlogs are very entertaining. It's another year in A for him. Just Too Good is up next, and sadly the content has not really improved from last year. The quality of the videos is just not that great, and some videos plainly just feel like ones put out for the sake of releasing a video every day. Once again, it's D tier for me. Brix Studios is our next creator, and what a great year it has been for him. Not only was pretty much every review fire, but of course he also brought his Geonosis mock to an end. That entire series was brilliant, and for the second year in a row, S tier for him. Next up is Bricksie. He's been consistently decent over the whole year. Obviously he's still working on his LEGO City, and I think that's really something he's got going for him. Obviously daily uploads are difficult, and in all honesty I wouldn't recommend it to anybody, but it seems to work for him. Overall he's going into B tier. His fellow countryman, Ashnflash, will follow him right into that actually. When it comes to quantity, he's got nearly the same output, but it seems more impulsive and isn't always daily, which is a good thing in my opinion. A steady flow of news and reviews doesn't leave a whole lot of room for creative projects within the confines of a schedule, and I think quite a few channels need more of that. However though, he's still doing fine. Speaking of creative projects, HollyOnFilm is next up, and I feel as though the creative projects are probably her strongest trait. There's a huge variety of video concepts on her channel, and yes, she too was in that video that I mentioned earlier with Ryan, but I also said that what she did was dumb, not a cardinal sin. Given how good her content was this year, she's also going into A. Up next is FireBird Bricks. Again, his style of content isn't for me, and in my opinion he's also just not as energetic as others while still doing the same type of content. But slower videos, of which his main channel nearly has none but his second channel provides, are great. His LEGO YouTubers are unoriginal and Brainrot is ruining LEGO YouTube videos were great, and because of that he's still going into B. TommyCBricks is our next creator, and for the about 3 people that have already watched the Brick Awards, you already know where he's going. While his main channel was a little more inactive this year, his second channel, TommyCFix, absolutely popped off and produced some of the highest quality content in the LEGO scene. Once again, he's going into S tier. Next up we've got Emmasaurus. Her content is really diverse and the quality is quite high, the editing is always on point, there really isn't a whole lot I can complain about. It's nothing that'll blow you away necessarily, but it's consistently good, and for that she's going into A tier. SCDude1999 also fits more into the shorts creator category. As I mentioned, it's just not for me, and I also think he's not the best at doing it. Again, if I had to give tips from my very uninformed standpoint, use music. Please, if you're not consistently screaming in your videos, which you shouldn't do by the way, use background music. Overall though, he's going into C tier. Similar to MiniSuperHeroesToday and Ryan Sevel, Studios seems to be doing almost the same thing as SCDude, but better in my opinion. Shorts are still not my thing, but they are engaging and the editing is decent generally. He's going into B tier for 2024. Republic Studs is up next. Look, his content isn't for me. It's very much targeted at children, which makes a video title like How I Created the Biggest LEGO War Criminal a bit weird though. Was gonna do an Israel joke here, but let's not do that today. His content isn't the best out there, but it's decent overall. I'ma put him into B tier for now. Same thing goes for danibobstudios. The content is decent, it's very much not for me, but like, she clearly puts effort in. Just like Republic Studs, she's also going into B tier. SpitBrix is up next. His content is a little slower and it might benefit from a little more pace, but in general it's pretty good. It does feel a bit like watching Watch Mojo, whether that's a positive or not, I'm gonna leave that up to you to decide, but he's also in B tier for this year. Our next creator is MasterBuilders. Pretty much everything I could say right now would just mirror what I was saying about Republic Studs or FireBird or whoever. Decent content, not for me, B tier. Also a recommendation that I've made previously and want to give to everyone, please do more color correction. Next up is JANGBRICKS along with all his other channels. It is very slow, his content feels like remnants of the past LEGO scene, but that slower content isn't always bad. I'ma put him into C tier for now. Slugger is the next creator, and for some reason I really can't explain that well, his content reminds me of older Just Too Good stuff. It's not overly edited, it's not incredibly fast paced, but it's by no means dragging either. His style of content is fun and he'll go into B tier for 2024. ByBeezon is up next, and I still don't like the stuff. I've got a deep dislike for any content that is AI generated, and the AI voiceover is annoying anytime I hear it. He's also got a handful of other channels in different languages which are just as lifeless as the main one. Just like last year, he's going down to the very bottom. DuckBricks is our next creator. I really like his content, he's got quite the enthusiasm that is definitely contagious. I feel like when it comes to editing and camera work, his videos would probably benefit from some upgrades, but all in all, B tier as well. Up next we've got Cheesey Studios. Straight off the bat, his thumbnail game is on point. They look absolutely amazing. The quality of his videos also 100% match that. Camera work, editing and variety in content are all fantastic, and really the only point to complain about would be the audio quality at times, but like, that's nothing major. S tier for me. TDBricks is next. He's the best of the more retention focused creators if you ask me, and I think many would agree. But I also said that his style of content just isn't my thing. Still though, I feel like he'll do well in A tier. RJMBricks also fits into the same category of content. He's not as good as TD with it, but still decent of course. I'll put him in B tier. Up next we've got Generic Stud. Look, he's doing his thing, it just happens to be that I don't like that thing. I don't like to get screamed at the beginning of every video, I don't care about Ninjago, and the editing style doesn't suit my taste either. Remember, it's my own personal opinion, I will put him in C tier for 2024. Star Wars Bricks is up next. Content's not for me, it feels somewhat unoriginal. Again, all of this is my opinion, C tier for me. The next creator is Brickcrafts. Again, the content is aimed at a younger audience, but I can appreciate what he does. It feels a bit like Mythbusters for children, or well, I guess Mythbusters was already for children, so Mythbusters for even smaller children. There's a ton of work put into these videos, so it gets an A tier from me. The Brickaniac is up next. The Moxie designs, or renders I guess, are pretty high quality and the videos are overall also decent. He clearly puts a lot of work into it, which may explain why the output wasn't that great this year, so he gets a B tier from me. Brickcrafts is next. The dude's got it figured out. I don't really know what else to say. It's a German channel originally, but unlike ByBeezon, he actually does the voiceover himself and it feels authentic. The stuff he builds is mind-blowing and he absolutely deserves a spot in A tier. Brix by Mind is our next creator. No hate towards the dude, but he very much reminds me of Ashnflash, just not as good yet. It absolutely doesn't help that I don't care for Ninjago, so he's going into C tier this year. Penultimately, we've got Brix Studios. I'm a big fan of mods and the ones he builds are always pretty dope. He of course finished his Magneto mod this year and that's a big achievement. All in all, I think he neatly fits into B tier. Last but not least, we've got BrickLi. Again, the content is aimed at children, it's not really made for me, but I really liked his spending $50,000 on Lego sets video. That was great, more laid back, and I know it didn't do numbers compared to other videos, but if there were more videos like that, I might have even put him in A, but for now it's B tier. Also, always nice to have some more Central European creators, somehow everyone else is just chilling across the pond. But oh well, that's it for today, I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, goodbye.